Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We are on the Weather Watch tonight. A wet start to your Memorial Day, and the rain is expected to continue throughout the evening. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorlo. Glad you're with us. Let's take a live look at the current conditions outside in Hartford, New Haven, Mohegan Sun, and Middletown. The rain started to pick up around an hour ago, and it could continue through the night. Meteorologist
Ryan Breton is here timing out when the rain will end and when the humidity will lift. Ryan?
Brent and Bridget, good evening to you. Hi, everybody. A lot of rain out there right now, and as you mentioned, very humid outside, too. No severe weather, but we do have some lightning. 2 strikes indicated with this line right over southeastern Connecticut at this point. And that's where the heaviest rain is, right really around the river, from Higganum to East Haddam, moving into Colchester, Salem, Montville, going to get into some of this heavier rain. We have moderate rain falling in the Hartford area. Have not seen much lightning in Hartford, but there are a few downpours, especially right around 91, going through Windsor up to Bradley, over to Granby as well. Now, there is a little break in this rain as you look to the southwest around parts of Fairfield County, but then there are more showers back to the west. So we'll be in and out of rain through about midnight tonight as it looks right now. So we'll show you this hour by hour. You can see 8 o'clock, still some showers and storms out there, but by midnight, most of this action moves out. And then we wake up to a gray start tomorrow morning, but the midday and afternoon turn out to be very nice, and it will warm up as well. It stays humid tonight, too. I think we'll have some patches of fog forming. Temperatures tomorrow morning in the 60s to near 70. And then once the sun comes out, it warms into the low 80s tomorrow afternoon. And by about this time tomorrow evening, I think you'll notice the humidity will be much lower too. We'll talk about how long the humidity stays away coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Looking forward to that humidity to die down. Ryan, thank you. Let's take a quick live look outside. This is Fox 61 Storm Tracker monitoring the streets. As you see, the rain is coming down, lots of ponding on the roads, drivers taking it slow. We'll continue to track the conditions across our state. Again, this is East Hartford, and the rain keeps on pouring down.
The Fox 61 Storm Tracker is sponsored by Nero Facilities Management.
Well, police in Naugatuck are trying to figure out what led to one person dying and another being injured. Police say they responded to a report of a gunshot at a home on Goldfinch Lane Saturday night. Officers found one person dead and another was rushed to the hospital. And we're told their injuries are not life-threatening. Right now, police are calling this an untimely death, but they aren't saying why. The State Police Major Crime Squad is helping investigate. We'll keep you updated as we learn more information.
A man is facing life-threatening injuries after a vehicle hit a moped that he was riding in Manchester. It happened just after 10 last night on Slater Street. The driver of the vehicle remained on the scene, is cooperating with investigators. Police have not released the moped rider's identity yet, but we do know that he was from South Windsor. Anyone with information about this crash is asked to call police.
A Metro North train traveling to Waterbury delayed this morning after hitting a tree that fell on the tracks. It happened in Milford near Herbert Street. One of the passengers was taken to a hospital for minor injuries. The rest of the passengers were put on a bus so crews could remove the train from the tracks.
While the rain did its best to stop Memorial Day ceremonies across our state, many still came together to honor our fallen heroes.
Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc shows us why some towns made sure to work around Mother Nature's plans.
From Prospect to Woodbridge. Community members, first responders, veterans, and families who lost a service member.
Thank you very much.
Taking the time to remember them.
I was lucky. We lost 119 guys in my company. So I was one of the lucky guys.
91-year-old Sandy Sufreen, a Woodbridge native, served as a Marine in the Korean War when he was 18 years old. At 21, he came back home.
It's a tough day for people that reflect back. People never came back. You know, I had friends of mine that died there.
This day even harder for him and his wife Betty, as they also reflect on their grandson, 20-year-old Army Private First Class Eric Soufrine, who was killed while serving in Afghanistan in 2011. Every year, the town lays a wreath in his memory.
He was coming home 2 weeks. 2 weeks before he was due home.
Their pain and that of others like them serving as a driving force for Dr. Barry Josephs, who organizes events like these every year.
I really feel very strongly about supporting veterans.
Especially as a fellow veteran who served as a U.S. Army captain in the 60s in Vietnam.
And at that time, everyone was, in my status, was being drafted. I volunteered.
And though his experience was less violent, Memorial Day still strikes a chord, best observed with others, no matter the circumstance.
Look at the turnout we had here in a small town on a rainy day.
Showing up for those who never made it home.
They never lived the life I lived. I lived a good life.
Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. In honor of Memorial Day, 47 bricks were added to the Veterans Walk of Honor in Bradley Point Park in West Haven. A patriotic crowd full of veterans and their families, as well as city and state leaders, gathered for a ceremony over the weekend. Each brick features a personalized message. Nearly 3,000 bricks have been installed in the park since the dedications began back in 2007.
Well, between holiday travel and people drinking and the bad weather, there was a chance for danger on the roads this weekend.
The Connecticut State Police just released some sobering statistics from the last few days, and Fox 61's Matt Caron dug into the numbers and has reaction now from drivers. Matt.
Well, both state and local police have been out in full force this weekend, pulling people over to make sure the roads are safe for you. And let's start with the good news here. No one has died in a car crash this weekend, but the statistics, they speak for themselves.
If you were on the road this weekend, you probably saw flashing lights, and this is the result. Nearly 4,000 calls for service, 374 speeding violations, 21 DUI arrests, 244 accidents, 32 of them with injuries. That's actually a marked improvement from last year, when 472 were caught speeding, 29 were arrested for DUI, and 3 people died.
I'm from Florida. It's pretty aggressive down there, but we've seen some doozies already.
Kathy Fico and her friend Denise Steelberger are visiting Connecticut as part of a 7-state New England road trip. The pair told Fox 61 the numbers match what they've seen with their own eyes.
Aggressive drivers. We've seen a lot of aggressive drivers. It seems like people are in a hurry to get where they want to go, or, they are definitely less patient, for sure. They have very little tolerance to anyone doing the speed limit.
According to AAA, nearly 44 million people are traveling this holiday weekend. That's a nearly 20-year high. But out-of-state drivers told us all that traffic hasn't resulted in too many taillights.
It was wide open coming down today, and even at the merge from 91 to 84, no backups, nothing.
And even though no one was killed this weekend, several accidents were serious, including a single car crash Sunday night on Buckley Hill Road in Thompson. While in Bridgeport, 2 young motorists struck a 17-year-old pedestrian in the area of Fairfield and Clinton Ave, the juvenile in serious condition. With Memorial Day in full swing, law enforcement is reminding you to avoid road rage and celebrate responsibly to avoid becoming part of the statistics.
It's all about them. They don't care about whether somebody's merging on the road or whatever's going on. They come back and they tailgate you, even if you're in the right lane and going the speed limit.
In addition to the state police, the DOT also released some new statistics that show so far this year, 115 people have been killed on Connecticut roadways. That's tied for the most in the last 6 years. In the studio, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.